We all know water is essential for life. Doctors, parents, that oddly motivational fish from Finding Nemo, they all tell us to drink more water. But what if I told you that this ubiquitous life-giving liquid could also be harboring some dark secrets? That beneath its clear, refreshing surface lurk hidden dangers? It's time we had an honest conversation about water, the good, the bad, and the potentially bubbly guts inducing. So grab a glass of, well, maybe hold off on that for a second and let's dive into the murky depths of water's hidden dangers. What you need to know. All right, let's start with the basics. Where does our water even come from? Sure, we've all seen the idyllic pictures of pristine mountain springs, but the reality is often far less glamorous. Our water sources, be it rivers, lakes, or groundwater, are under constant threat from a cocktail of pollutants. We're talking industrial waste, agricultural runoff, even good old-fashioned sewage. It's enough to make you want to swear off tap water and collect rainwater in a rusty bucket. But don't despair just yet. Let's break down these contaminants, shall we? First up, we've got heavy metals like lead and mercury. These bad boys can wreak havoc on your nervous system, kidneys, and even impact child development. Next, we have pesticides, those chemical concoctions designed to keep our crops pest-free, but often end up taking a dip in our water supply. Long-term exposure has been linked to all sorts of health issues, from hormonal imbalances to an increased risk of certain cancers. Remember those pesky microplastics we hear so much about? Yeah, they're not just clogging up our oceans, they're finding their way into our drinking water too. And last, but certainly not least, we have the invisible villains pathogens. Water filters, especially those with reverse osmosis or activated carbon, can be your best friend when it comes to removing these unwanted guests from your H2O. Let's talk about two chemicals that are practically synonymous with tap water, chlorine and fluoride. These chemicals often spark heated debates, with passionate advocates on both sides, and honestly, they're both right, to a certain extent. Chlorine, the pungent chemical that probably reminds you of swimming pools, is added to our water for a good reason. It kills bacteria. Think back to those nasty pathogens we discussed earlier. Chlorine is our first line of defense against these microscopic monsters. Without it, our water supply would be a breeding ground for disease. But, and this is a big but, chlorine isn't exactly a picky eater. While it's busy annihilating harmful bacteria, it can also react with organic matter in the water, forming byproducts called disinfection byproducts, DBPs. And some of these DBPs have been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers and reproductive issues. Now, let's move on to fluoride, the mineral that's often hailed as a hero for our teeth. Adding fluoride to water has been shown to significantly reduce cavities, especially in children. However, like a superhero with a tragic flaw, fluoride can become problematic in high doses. Overexposure, usually from ingesting too much fluoride through multiple sources like toothpaste, mouthwash, and yes, even water, can lead to a condition called fluorosis. This can cause cosmetic issues like white streaks or pitting on teeth, and in severe cases, even weaken bones. If you're concerned about chlorine and fluoride levels in your water, using a water filter, particularly one with a carbon filter, can help reduce their concentration. And when it comes to fluoride, remember that moderation is key. Plastic water bottles, they're convenient, they're portable, they're practically everywhere. But what if I told you that our love affair with plastic bottles is a toxic one, that beneath their shiny exteriors lurk hidden dangers that could be harming our health? Let's start with the most infamous offender, bisphenol A, or BPA for short. This chemical is used to make certain plastics, including some water bottles, more durable and shatter-resistant. Sounds great, right? Except for the part where BPA has a nasty habit of leaching into our water, especially when the bottles are exposed to heat or sunlight. And once it's in our system, BPA acts like a hormone disruptor, messing with our delicate endocrine system. We're talking potential problems with reproductive health, increased risk of certain cancers, and even developmental issues in children. BPA-free bottles have become increasingly popular. But before you breathe a sigh of relief, let's talk about BPA's lesser-known cousins, phthalates. These chemicals are used to make plastics more flexible, and you guessed it, they can also leach into our water. The answer is simple. Ditch the plastic. Invest in a reusable water bottle made from glass or stainless steel. These materials don't leach harmful chemicals into your water, and they're better for the environment in the long run. Chapter 4, Overhydration. When more isn't better. We're constantly bombarded with messages about the importance of hydration. Drink 8 glasses of water a day, carry a water bottle everywhere you go. Your urine should be practically clear. And while staying hydrated is undoubtedly crucial for our health, there is such a thing as having too much of a good thing. Yes, even water can be dangerous in excess, a concept known as overhydration or water intoxication. It might seem counterintuitive, but drinking excessive amounts of water can disrupt the delicate balance of electrolytes in our body. Electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and chloride are essential for nerve and muscle function, regulating blood pressure and maintaining proper fluid balance. When we drink too much water too quickly, it dilutes the concentration of electrolytes in our bloodstream, leading to a condition called hyponatremia or low sodium levels. The symptoms of hyponatremia can range from mild to life-threatening. Early signs include nausea, vomiting, headache, confusion, and fatigue. As the condition worsens, it can lead to muscle cramps, seizures, coma, and in extreme cases, even death. The key takeaway here is moderation. Listen to your body and drink when you're thirsty. Chapter 5, Water in the Home Lurking Dangers. We often think of our homes as safe havens, but even within those familiar walls, water can pose hidden dangers. From insidious leaks to scalding temperatures, it's important to be aware of these potential hazards and take steps to protect ourselves and our loved ones. Let's start with a silent threat: mold and mildew. These unwelcome guests thrive in damp, humid environments, and leaky pipes, roofs, or windows can provide the perfect breeding ground. Mold spores, when inhaled, can trigger allergies, asthma attacks, and other respiratory problems. To prevent mold growth, address leaks promptly, ensure proper ventilation in bathrooms and kitchens, and use a dehumidifier in humid climates. Another potential hazard is hot water burns. While a hot shower can be incredibly relaxing, water heaters set at excessively high temperatures can cause severe burns, especially in young children and older adults who have more sensitive skin. To prevent accidents, set your water heater temperature to 120 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, and always test the water temperature before getting in the shower or bath. Chapter 6, Natural Water Sources. Proceed with caution. There's something undeniably alluring about a crystal-clear stream bubbling over rocks or a pristine mountain lake reflecting the sky. It's easy to romanticize natural water sources, imagining them as pure and untouched. But the reality is that even the most idyllic-looking natural water can harbor hidden dangers. While rivers, lakes, and springs might seem pristine, they are part of a larger ecosystem, and that ecosystem can include a variety of contaminants. Runoff from agricultural fields can carry pesticides, herbicides, and animal waste into waterways. Industrial discharge can introduce heavy metals and other toxins, and even wildlife can contribute to water contamination through their feces. One of the biggest concerns with untreated natural water is the presence of microorganisms. Bacteria, viruses, and parasites can thrive in these environments, and ingesting them can lead to a range of waterborne illnesses. If you're venturing into the great outdoors and plan on drinking from natural water sources, it's crucial to treat the water before consumption. Boiling water for at least 1 minute is an effective method for killing most harmful microorganisms. Chapter 7, Shower and Tap Water Inhalation Risks. We've all experienced the invigorating feeling of a hot shower, the steam enveloping us as we wash away the day's grime. But what if I told you that this seemingly harmless ritual could be exposing us to hidden dangers in the air we breathe? Chlorine, the chemical workhorse that keeps our drinking water safe from bacteria, can also pose risks when inhaled in the shower. As hot water cascades over our bodies, it releases chlorine and other volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, into the air, creating a steamy cocktail of potential irritants. Exposure to chlorine gas can irritate the eyes, nose, throat, and lungs, and may even trigger asthma attacks in susceptible individuals. Legionella bacteria, which can cause a severe type of pneumonia known as Legionnaire's disease, thrive in warm, stagnant water. Showerheads and faucets, with their moist environments and potential for aerosolizing water, can provide ideal breeding grounds for these bacteria. To minimize your risk, consider installing a shower filter designed to remove chlorine and other VOCs. So there you have it, a glimpse into the often overlooked dangers lurking in our water. It can be overwhelming to think about the potential contaminants we encounter daily, but remember, knowledge is power. By being aware of these risks and taking simple precautions, we can protect ourselves and our families while still enjoying the many benefits water offers. Ensure your drinking water is clean and filtered, whether it's from the tap or a natural source. Stay informed, stay proactive, and stay hydrated. Safely, of course. Safely of